in such a manner as well. And then we get into conversation with a tech startup called Taka. It's using technology, heritage and language to confront South Africa's literacy crisis. That's all coming up on The Upside.
That's the Upside coming up at the top of the hour with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Matsheko Mosito. From myself, Lulu Gabu and the Africa Update team, our producer Tracy Bumga, technical operator Ndando Lutuli, and social media Sfiso Hlope and talent Butelezi. It's been a good one. Let's do this again tomorrow and continue with us on our social media platforms. Bye-bye.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Lulu. Good afternoon. I'm Cholani Tulo Webe. Cote d'Ivoire has barred two top opposition leaders, former President Laurent Gbagbo and former Credit Suisse CEO Tidjane Thiam, from next month's presidential election. Incumbent President Alassane Ouattara is seeking a fourth term. The Constitutional Council had been tasked with drawing up the final list of candidates. It retained 5 bids to contest the 25th of October ballot, but eliminated Gbagbo and Thiam on the grounds that they have been removed from the electoral roll. Thiam, leader of the largest opposition force, the historically dominant PDCI party, was removed from the electoral register in April over nationality-related legal issues stemming from him acquiring French nationality. Gbagbo, head of the African People's Party, was excluded because of a criminal conviction. Police have detained a senior official of Uganda's largest opposition party, the National Unity Platform, while he attended a court appearance by his colleagues. Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro, who is NUP's deputy spokesperson, was forced into a vehicle just outside a magistrate's court in the capital Kampala. In recent months, NUP, headed by pop star turned politician Bobby Wine, and other opposition parties have decried what they say is a campaign of abductions and torture of opposition officials by security forces ahead of elections that are due early next year. Both police and the military have in the past denied targeting the opposition and say that only suspects in criminal cases are detained. Trade Union Solidarity is taking South Africa's minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, to court over alleged defamation. This after she claimed that Solidarity and its sister organisation AfriForum led misinformation campaigns against South Africa. This follows the two movements' visit to the US after President Donald Trump issued an executive order on South Africa. Solidarity says it's launched a defamation case against Ntshavheni, with President Cyril Ramaphosa being the second respondent. Solidarity Deputy CEO Anton van der Bijl.
The specific statement was made by the minister in the presidency on the 27th of March when she stated that Solidarity and AfriForum is busy with continued campaign of disinformation and misinformation. And it's in connection with the alleged use of the wording of white genocide by Solidarity and AfriForum. We dispute that we have used that words. So we say the narrative that we are busy with the misinformation campaign is absolutely defamatory. It cannot stand, and we must take that to court.
The 12th South African National AIDS Council Conference is focusing on issues including research and the decision of the US to withdraw funding for HIV/AIDS projects. The 4-day conference started yesterday in Kempton Park in the east of Johannesburg. About 8 million people in South Africa have HIV and around 6 million are on antiretrovirals. Some health experts are concerned that the US withdrawal of funding could lead to many deaths in the country. Dr. Glenda Gray is one of the health experts attending the conference.
South Africa faces two huge challenges. One is the loss of service delivery because of the loss of PEPFAR funding. And this service delivery, even though only 17% of the total AIDS budget was paid through PEPFAR, this loss of money means that we have issues with supply chain management, stockouts, lack of HIV testing, lack of retention in care, and the inability to follow up children to make sure that they get the correct diagnosis and get onto treatment. So the loss of PEPFAR funding impacts on the quality of our program.
Thailand's former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra is reported to have arrived at the Bangkok prison. This follows his year's sentence. Thaksin was convicted on corruption charges in 2023 and had previously been held in a prison hospital, but a Supreme Court judge ordered that he be detained for a further year. The BBC's Jay Kwan reports.
What the court has decided today was that there was in fact no critical illness that required him to spend this time in the hospital, that it was unfair for him to be transferred there, that now he has to now go back to the prison and serve that 1 year. He is an older person, he is 76, and there are other maneuvers that he could do to perhaps get an early release or house arrest. It is unclear whether he will fully serve that 1 year in prison.
For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo-Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Six minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Good afternoon and welcome to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African Perspective with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Matsheko Mosito with you all the way to 4 p.m. Central African Time. Catch us live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Our WhatsApp line so we can hear your lovely voice and tell us exactly where you are streaming us from is +27 406 9126. We're coming to you live from the Auckland Park Studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's a good afternoon to you, Matsheko Mosito. How are you doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon?
The Tuesday is fine. I'm great, thank you. Off to a wonderful start and very excited to be back here at home as an upsider. So you said it's you, me, Ndando, our technical operators, obviously here with us. And there's like a visiting insect in here as well.
A visiting insect?
Yeah, I saw you shoo it away.
Where was that?
You shoot away an insect.
Where's this camera? Where's the footage? Let's rewind.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to find that footage.
Let's
I saw
rewind.
you shoo away the insect and you didn't acknowledge it. It's part of the show.
No, there are no insects in the SABC studio. Okay, there are no insects, no flies here. All right, but what I can tell you is that we've got a jam-packed show coming up this afternoon. All right, in the first hour, we talk all things 11th edition of Ghana Fest SA. Have you ever been to a Ghana Fest? What didn't happen last year and we were supposed to go at some point? I don't know.
Yes.
We didn't go.
The wonderful people who organize Ghana Fest are good friends of ours.
You've never been though?
We've been speaking to them for many years. I actually haven't had the honor and the privilege to attend because there's always something happening, you see. So
wait,
maybe this is the year. Let
me give you the dates. The 13th of September. Where will you be? 13th of September, it's this Saturday. Okay. No, it looks like she's got plans. It's fine. Yep. She's got plans.
Showing me under the bus.
Yeah. And then we talk about bridging the digital divide in African schools to ensure every child can thrive in an AI-driven future. Important conversation, interesting conversation, because if we are going to drive AI future in schools, we need to think about all the schools. We need to think about the infrastructures. There are certain schools that don't even have desks. Kids are studying outside. They're studying without proper Wi-Fi connectivity. So now driving the AI agenda without addressing those basic needs. Anyway, I'm veering off. We are trying to drive AI into the future of education and schools, but we cannot forget, and I would be remiss if I don't make mention of the fact that there are some basics that need to be attended to first before we can get there.
Yeah, it really
Fair
does
enough.
sound to me like we are quantum leaping incorrectly, because we've really got to start from the ground up. But let's see how this conversation goes.
Absolutely.
There might be some sense to it, so we're going to be looking at that quite intensely.
And then later on today, we'll be talking about, as YouTube marks 20 years, they've got a Works Awards, which will be coming up. We'll find out more about it, what that means, who qualifies. It's all in celebration of effective and creative ad campaigns on their platform, and it will be in South Africa. That's all coming up on The Upside this afternoon. It's 10 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to The Upside.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et vos 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa One. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa One. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Matsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Initiating rage process.
Now which kind life where I never see? I carry God so I fear nothing. Steady increase in the commas. Original no be parody. You know fit clear for your memory. Whether now winter or summer. I did Baba Savannah. Living life, see my fire burning bright within the inside me. Small leeway, they mighty, they never know I color. To the move fine, check and balance everything inside my mind daily. Trust me, you can't fool me. Energy don't got logo, more friendly and conscious. I'm allergic to so. I'm not ready for confusion. They're telling me make I show love, stability on
Ira Star there giving us commas. Commas. It's 14 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lekhuleni and Matsheko Mosito. How's your day going so far? Are you having a productive one? I was telling Lulu earlier that I don't understand what's happening with this weather. Right, we are supposed to be in spring, summer, hot, right? Today was not the case. It was not hot. The morning, you see, I'm even dressed like I belong in winter. And it's not the case now because it's now shifted. Now it's getting warmer, it's hot again. But this morning, no. In the past couple of days, actually, it hasn't been giving spring, summer. And Lulu is blaming, what is that? Earthquake. No, it's not the earthquake. What's that thing?
Earthquake.
Global fire. What's that? Global warming.
Global warming.
That's the one.
You know what you sound like?
She's blaming global warming for this.
You know what you sound like? I'm going to use relationships as an analogy. You sound like a guy who tells his friend that he has met the one. Oh, and everything is going to be wonderful. And then they have one argument. It's like, she's not the one anymore. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't mean that because we're in the spring and summer that it's going to be parfait every day. It's not going to be perfect every day. You are going to have days where it's not so great. It's not so sunny. It's not so bright.
Fair enough.
But it doesn't take away from the blossoms of the season. So sit down. Tomorrow will be warm. Don't worry.
All I'm saying is for spring and summer, we don't want to see clouds. We want to see clear blue sky.
Here's a guy who's found the one that doesn't want challenges.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm sorry. Challenges are good, but not when it comes to this weather situation. I'm still fighting about that one. Anyway, it's 16 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We're about to talk all things Ghana Fest SA. This is the 11th edition of Ghana Fest SA. It will be held at the Pretoria's Fountains Valley. It's set to come alive this September with color, music, and cultural pride as the 11th edition of Mama Money Ghana Fest SA takes center stage on the 13th of September. This year's theme is Bridging the Cultural Gap. It will celebrate the shared ties between Ghana and South Africa through music, dance, art, and food. And festival goers can expect everything from cultural parades and traditional crafts to authentic cuisine and family-friendly activities, all designed to bring the spirit of two nations together in one joyful celebration. Ghanaian music legend Gwabena. Is that Gwabena?
That's how I pronounce it, yes.
South Africa's Pabi Cooper will be there, DJs, traditional dancers, and the beloved Sankofa International Band will be on the line-up. The festival promises a rich mix of entertainment, identity, and with Mama Money returning as headline sponsor for the third year, the event is as much about unity and community as it is about fun. And to tell us a bit more about this Ghana Fest, we will be joined by Mavis Mansa Pa, founder of Ghana Fest SA. Mavis is joining us on the line. Mavis, thank you so... Oh, no, she's not on the line yet. All right, but she will be hopefully on the line to tell us a bit more about this. It's 11th edition. Last year, I remember we were talking about... This was on a different show. We were talking about the 10th edition and what celebration, a decade of Ghana Fest and what people could expect. So I can't wait to see what this year has in store. We've got Mavis on the line. Mavis, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations, 11th edition of the Ghana Fest SA. Let's talk about this year's theme, Bridging the Cultural Gap, and the inspiration behind it.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for inviting us. This year, obviously, every year is bigger and better. That's the theme for this year. And it's a heritage month. So we're trying to create social cohesion, creating a platform for cultural exchange with the already, great relationship between South Africa and Ghana. We wanted to create this great platform for cultural diversity, and also, to learning for us to learn from each other in terms of what what makes us different, and also obviously what also the common elements that we also share amongst ourselves. So that's basically why this event is a great event for everyone and for the whole family to also join in.
Mavis, one thing I've always admired about you is the fact that you were born Ghanaian, but were raised in South Africa. But you've always taken a piece of your descent, wherever you go. And hence, that just forms part of why you created this wonderful event. Let's extend on that idea around what makes us the same, what makes us different. I mean, you've been running this for over a decade now, and it grows in leaps and bounds, and you've remained consistent in many admirable ways. Talk to us about just some of the beauty that you see in the cultural exchanges between Ghanaians and South Africans. What are the common beautiful things that you've seen that have sort of brought the two nations together?
Yes, you're quite right. It's a great diversity of cultures and cultural exchange. And I mean, for the past 11 years that we've been having this event, we've invited various cultural groups from South Africa and giving them the platform, from the Ndebele cultural groups, from the Zulu, from the Xhosa cultural groups. They've all graced the occasion, and there has been a great mix of culture. Also from the Ghanaian side, we've got the Ashanti tribe, we've got the Ga, we've got the Airways. So there's this atmosphere of cultural diversity when you visit Ghana Fest. Not to mention, obviously, the food, the wonderful food and vibrant textures that we have. Yes, so we have various exhibitors from both South Africa and Ghana. And also we invite other countries from the diaspora to also come through and also enjoy the occasion. So we've seen quite a mixture of cultures, and also obviously with the support, we cannot have this without the support of our various sponsors like the Mama Money and also Tunes, and we've recently also having Momo MTN coming on board, and also Sedlu Hair. So these are all some of the companies that have supported us for on this event, for a free event for the whole family to also come and enjoy. And it's very kids also friendly. So we have great giveaways also from Mama Money, which is our main sponsor during the day. So I think that's the cultural exchange that I can share.
We are currently in conversation with Mavis Mensah, Pa, founder of Ghana Fest SA. The 11th edition will be taking place this weekend on the 13th of September, and we'll continue the conversation with her right after this.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Utokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV, ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
The 11th edition of Mama Money Ghana Fest SA will be taking place this weekend on the 13th of September at Pretoria's Fountains Valley. And we are currently in conversation with the Ghana Fest founder, Ghana Fest SA founder, Mavis Mensah Pa, and just to tell us a bit more about what we can expect this weekend. Mavis, let's talk about the music side of this festival. Some of the artists that will be there, share the lineup, especially for those who are very excited to see the likes of Abo Babi Cooper, Gwabena. Just share some of the list of artists that will be performing this weekend.
Yes, we have a whole lot of artists lined up, as you've mentioned. Our headline artist is Kwabna at the legend. And obviously, he's going to be serenading the whole atmosphere with various songs, his hit songs. And obviously, we have Papi Cooper, who's a BET nominee and a vibrant, energetic performer for the day. We also have various live bands that will be performing, live bands such as Harmony Band, live band coming all the way from Ghana. And also we have Sankofa live band. We've got also various local artists that will be performing on stage. We've got African dance group, various African dance groups that will be also showcasing. Not forgetting the vibrant chieftaincy display that displays the rich culture of Ghana with the Ashanti kings. So come see the vibrant kente cloth on display, and with the queen mothers and the whole entourage of the kingship. So come through with the whole family. As I've said previously, it's absolutely free for all, courtesy obviously of Mama Money, and also Tunes, Sedlo Hair, and a whole lot. Kenya Airways is also on board, who is also supporting us in this event. So yeah, I think come through from 10 a.m. until late, obviously. You have with various cuisines. Don't forget the Ghana Jollof. The Ghana Jollof, yes, as we all know, is the best currently in Africa. There isn't any competition. So come taste the fufu, the real Ghana fufu, the goat soup, a whole lot of, the rich taste of the Ghanaian cuisine. So yes.
Oh man, I was actually going to ask you about the Jollof War, a term that was coined by the founding president of the Nigerian Guild of Professionals. He called it Jollof Wars. So the Ghanaian Jollof.
Ghana won, actually.
Yeah, Ghana always wins. That's the thing. Like, that is the original home of this food. So thank you, Mavis. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, let's talk tickets, because I think really there's no excuse. If the entrance is free, then there's no excuse. But how do we then gain entry? Do we just pitch up? Do we actually have to draw a ticket online? How does it work?
Fountains Valley is a game reserved with, as I've said, courtesy of Mama Money, Momo, MTN, Tunes, Kenya Airways, and a whole lot said Lohe, and they paid for the venue. So it's absolutely free for all. So we've paid for the venue and in terms of the capacity. Right. So we've got great security that will be guarding. The Tswani police has been informed. We have various dignitaries, embassies that have been also invited. So there's great security, and the gates will close at 4 p.m. because the event goes on until like 10 p.m. So gates will close at 4 p.m. and we will not have any more people coming through. But from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., you are free to come with your camp chairs, with your whole family. Food, drinks are all available by the food stores, exhibitors with clothing and everything. Come shop for your kids, come shop for your family, come taste Ghana, and and enjoy the day, the Heritage Day month with us.
A family affair indeed. Mavis, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on the 11th edition of Ghana Fest, and we wish you nothing but success on the day. I'm sure people are going to have a fantastic time and share amazing stories and learn more about the Ghanaian as well as the South African cultures. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thanks for having me and enjoy your day. Hope to see you guys also on the ground.
We'd love to be there. I'm going to drag Matsheko, even though she's got other plans.
No,
I'm going to drag...
Well, I mean, gates close at 4, so we might be able to definitely make it.
It's going to close late, these gates. They're going to close very late.
No, the gates are closing at 4, and then the festivities
the festivities are going to... Okay, all right. But we'll be there before 4, and then we'll stay the rest of the night. Anyway, there we go. The voice of Mavis Mensah, founder of Ghana Fest SA, the 11th edition of Mama Money Ghana Fest SA will be taking place this weekend, the 13th of September at Pretoria's Fountains Valley. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest in sports with Figile Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Afternoon, guys. Let me start off with football news ongoing. Tonight, everybody should know Nigeria's captain, William Trust Nkong, has dismissed claims that the Super Eagles, the individual star power, is holding the team back. A stuttering start to their FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign has left Nigeria 6 points adrift of Group C leader South Africa, making tonight's clash at the Free State Stadium a must-win. Speaking ahead of the decisive fixture, Trust Nkong rejected suggestions that egos or reputations are to blame for the team struggles.
Again, maybe it might be your opinion. I see, live, breathe this team from the inside out. If there's one thing that I have to say about the team now, there's a real unity, togetherness, understanding, players that want to fight for the same direction, regardless of what club you play for, who you are. There's a real brotherhood in the team, so I don't have to go into too much detail, but I can really dismiss that issue if that's something that people are talking about. So that's not even something that I think about.
And Nigeria must raise their level against Bafana Bafana, with Trust Nkong conceding their destiny is no longer entirely in their own hands.
For us, it's like, again, we only can control the things that are with us. The coach already spoke about the FIFA situation, CAF situation, not with us. The other games that South Africa, Lesotho teams have to play afterwards, not with us. So we can't focus on that. I think any thought of that is a distraction. Like I said, we believe in it. So we've got nine more points and this important game tomorrow to play for. So that's the only thing that we can think about.
And Libya and Ghana both secured important victories in their respective FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifying campaigns on Monday evening, with results that could prove pivotal in the race for group supremacy and a place at the 2026 Global Showpiece. In Benghazi, Libya produced a dominant first-half display to see off Eswatini 2-0 to move further up Group D. The Mediterranean Nine struck early when Mohamed A.S. Issa opened the scoring in the 8th minute. The hosts doubled their advantage just 11 minutes later as Faraj El Maremi converted from close range following a clever assist by Salama. Eswatini attempted to respond after the interval, making several substitutions to freshen their attack. But Libya's defense remained disciplined and secured the clean sheet. The result lifts Libya into 3rd place in Group D, reviving their hopes of staying in contention for qualification. Meanwhile, in Kumasi, Ghana edged a tense 1-0 battle against Mali in Group I. On to athletics, South African 400-meter champion Zagiti Nene believes he's in the right shape to finally claim his first major international medal when the World Senior Athletics Championships gets underway in Tokyo from Saturday until the 13th of September. He impressed in Europe with 2 second-place finishes in Rome and a 3rd in London on the Diamond League circuit.
So much pressure. But I mean, I'm in a very good position. I just picked up a niggle in Budapest, so I've just been trying to navigate through that. But I wouldn't be here if I wasn't confident that I can step on the track and be competitive. So yeah.
And finally, boxing news. Joseph Parker's team have questioned whether Alexander Usyk will fulfill his mandatory obligation to fight the New Zealander. Usyk holds all 4 of the major heavyweight titles. He is due to make a mandatory defense of the WBO belt next, but the organization has granted Usyk a 90-day extension on medical grounds for those negotiations. The WBO has ruled that he must box their mandatory challenger, currently Joseph Parker, next. Parker is risking his mandatory position in a 25th October bout with Fabio Wardley. The WBO order means that if Usyk is to hold on to that world title, he must box the Parker-Wardley victor. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo kutuli bwanji ndi Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. And join the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
36 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's say good afternoon now to the man who will give us some business news. His name is Thabiso Lekhuleni.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. It's Nosipho Zuma this afternoon. In your business news this hour, the South African Federation of Trade Unions, SAFTU, has called for a meeting with the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Parks Tau, as well as the Minister of Employment and Labour, Nomakosazana Meth. SAFTU says it wants the two ministers to address the unfolding unemployment crisis in the manufacturing sector. The trade union has accused government of not doing enough to come up with a solution to the growing unemployment crisis. The union's General Secretary, Zwelinzima Vavi.
There's been no real engagement between the key players to try and find real solution, long-term solution to the crisis. Network has to be transformed to be a structure where real engagement between the captains of industry, the government at the most senior level, and labor community at the most senior level begin to confront the issue.
Senegal has raised its 2025 oil output forecast for the Sangoma offshore field operated by Australia's Woodside Energy Group to 34.5 million barrels from 30.53 million. The Sangoma field started output in June 2024, making Senegal an oil-producing nation. Now, according to an Energy Ministry statement published on X, from January to August, Sangoma produced more than 24 million barrels of crude oil. Ghana's High Commissioner to South Africa, Benjamin Gofi Kwashi, has called for constructive engagement between Ghana's Ministry of Communications and MultiChoice Ghana to resolve a standoff. Kwashi made these comments after the MultiChoice Group rejected calls from Ghana's Minister for Communications, Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nati George, for a 30% reduction in subscription fees. Kwashi says prolonged tensions could undermine investor confidence across the sub-region, stressing that the matter should be settled through negotiations rather than a public confrontation.
So in the West African sub-region where DSTV MultiChoice operates, we are told that they don't pay up to the $50 that Ghanaians have been asked to be paying every month for premium services. In the whole of West Africa, we are the highest that pays for such a subscription. And also the programming. Most of the programming are those that are recorded, not live programs. And so those are the disparities that they looked at.
Egypt's annual headline inflation rate is forecast to have slowed in August to 12.7%, continuing a downward trend over the last 2 years as the government tightens its monetary policy. The median forecast of 13 analysts polled by Reuters was for annual urban consumer inflation to have eased to 12.7% from 13.9% in July. The polling data was collected over from the 3rd to the 8th of September. Now, 3 analysts predicted core inflation would remain unchanged at a median 11.80%. And finally, U.S. grocery store player Walmart has announced that it plans to open its first branded stores in South Africa later this year. Their stores will offer fresh groceries, household essentials, clothing and technology, adding emphasis on sourcing products from local SMMEs. The company, which now owns local retailer Massmart, says its latest decisions underscores its commitment to availing high quality, affordable and more accessible products to consumers. The exact locations and days of the opening of its new stores are yet to be announced. Massmart CEO Miles van Rensburg has more.
Today, Walmart announced plans to open our first Walmart-branded stores in South Africa later this year. This news demonstrates Walmart's commitment to making high-quality, affordable merchandise accessible to more customers in our market, and it's great news for both our country and our economy. We'll announce official opening dates of our store locations in a few weeks.
Your financial indicators: $1 US in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 514, and Botswana is 13 bula 30. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 30, and in Zambia is 23 kwacha 89. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 42. Russia is 81 rubles 95. India, it's 88 rupees 02. China at 7 yuan 13, and in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 54. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,650 and platinum at $1,392 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $66.44 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mosito Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800 428 428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
The Upside, taking the African perspective to fresh levels.
When a good girl bad, what you gonna do? Run, go meet a dad. You don't wanna do. Well, this is Southeast Hall. But the ranking what best, y'all. Watch this. Love confession. Why she's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker. Steaming hot water vapor. I wanna take her. She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker, steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date her. So tell me why you do me so. So tell me why you do me so. Baby, me not gonna let you go. Girl, me not gonna let you go. So tell me why you do me so. Tell me why you do me so. Charlie, me not gonna let you go. Tell me not gonna let you go. Me spend all me money, spend all me cash. Call you me honey, but you threw me on trash. And you think say me gon' leave you like that? No way. Why you do me like that, yeah? Girl, I'm waiting on you, even if them hating on you. But me never send them go. In my life, I've never seen melanin so dark. You're a queen of the dance floor, night socialite on a rubbish scene, baby. Would you put me in your diary? In my life, I've never seen melanin so dark. You're a queen of the dance floor, night socialite on a rubbish scene, baby. Would you put me in your diary? She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker, steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date her. She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker, steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date her. So tell me why you do me so. So tell me why you do me so. Baby, me not gonna let you go. Girl, me not gonna let you go. So tell me why you do me so. Tell me why you do me so. Charlie, me not gonna let you go. Tell me not gonna let you go.
I think I saw you in the magazine, or maybe on TV. Looking me up close when you're queen, you're a queen. And if you know me well, you know I don't kiss and tell, but I want you to myself, baby.
In my life, yo, me never seen melanin so dark. You're the queen of the dance floor, night session like on the legacy, baby. Won't you put me in your diary? In my life, yo, me never seen melanin so dark. You're the queen of the dance floor, night session like on the legacy, baby. Won't you put me in your diary? She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker, steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date her. She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker, steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date her. So tell me why you do me so. So tell me why you do me so. Baby, me not gonna let you go. Yeah, me not gonna let you go. So tell me why you do me so. Tell me why you do me so. Charlie, me not gonna let you go. Tell me not gonna let you go.
I never seen melanin body shaking like a tambourine all night. Inna me head you are the melody, baby. Inna me head you are the melody. In my life I never seen melanin so dark. You're the queen of the dance floor, night such a light qua Nairobi scene, baby. Won't you put me in your diary? Heartbreaker, she bend over backbreaker, steaming hot water vapor. I wanna date ya, yeah. She's a heartbreaker. She bend over backbreaker.
Saudi Soul featuring Pato Ranking Melanin. Blame me, judge me if you will. I immediately went to Spotify to find that song and favorite it and add it to my playlist, because I realized when I go home today, it's going to be on blast. What a banger of a song. Did you hear that?
Listen, that is the
sorry.
song. That is the song to add. I mean, if you're like me and you've got a playlist for every single mood in your life.
You have that.
I have a playlist for everything. I have a playlist for when I'm on my yoga mat. I have a playlist for when I'm crying. I have a playlist for when I want to activate my Shakti and want to dance. I have a playlist for...
You want to activate who?
My Shakti.
Who's Shakti?
My divine feminine energy. Shakti is me, darling. It's me.
It's an alter ego or is it actual...
No, it's
energy. What is it?
I'll explain another day because it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time to explain. But the point is, I have a playlist for everything. That one, you definitely.
Where would it go?
This one would definitely go on the road trip playlist. No doubt about it. Top 5.
I am in agreement. I want to go back to this playlist that you have for every mood, every feeling. So when you are sad, when you're crying,
I've got a playlist
Are
for
you
that.
listening to music that is also crying, or what kind of music are you listening to?
I
Is it
listen
sad music?
to. No, but there is instrumental music. There's also vocals, but there's a lot of instrumentation. And what I've noticed is that there's a lot of trumpet in that playlist. There's a lot of trumpet. There's a lot of sitar, which is like an Indian kind of stringed instrument. Sitar.
Oh.
Wow. There's a lot of kora as well.
Okay.
Our African harp. So there's a lot of those types of instruments in the music that I listen to when I want to let it out through my eyes.
It's 10 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. I need pocket tissue is what I need.
Yes.
And then when we get back, it's vent o'clock time. I want to vent about something, but I think people are going to come at me for venting about it in the first place. Don't go anywhere.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa. Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo kutuli bwanji ndi Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. And join the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
It's 9 minutes before 2 p.m. Central African time. It's time for Vent O'Clock. Get it off your chest and live a lighter life. I wanted to vent about something, but like I said, I don't know if people will be in agreement about this particular vent. Remember Idols? South African Idols?
Yeah, the singing competition. Yes.
The singing competition.
Yes.
Remember, it came to an end at some point. We were like, it came to an end.
Yeah, the franchise.
Yeah, in South Africa. Yeah, in South Africa, it came to an end. Yeah, and at that particular time, people were asking for it to come to an end. They were like, "Hey guys, we're tired. Hey, idols. Yeah, we're tired. Idols. It's getting boring. Blah 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 blah." Some people were complaining that Idols hasn't really given us household names. Name one person who has won Idols. South African Idols that you still remember, still listen to?
Did Kayam Tetwa not win?
Of course, he won.
Yeah,
he won.
Yeah, Kayam Tetwa.
He won. Who else?
Heinz Winkler was the first one who actually won it. The
such
first
a long time ago.
Yeah, I just revealed my age clearly there.
Yep.
So Heinz Winkler.
We remember.
Yeah, those are the two.
Amanda Black.
Top two.
She didn't win, but Amanda Black.
Was part of the competition. Zama Jobe ended up making a success of her career. She's just amazing. Who became a superstar?
How many people did you just list? Like 3, 4. And how many seasons were there? Into like 15. How many seasons?
No, I think more than 20. If
anyway,
memory serves me correctly.
My vent is that Idols might be coming back. There's been a collaboration and a partnership with some US-based amongst it's Idols, but not just Idols coming back. There are quite a few other shows that could be coming back. Project Runway, The Voice, Dancing with the Stars, and Idols also coming back. Personally, Idols doesn't have to come back. C#, we're good with Idols. Personally, that's why I'm venting about it. Personally, sharp. I'm good with idols. Doesn't have to come back. That's my event. It doesn't have to come back. I don't know why it's coming back.
I want to support your vent, ne? But I'm also thinking about what could you possibly want to bring this competition back for, besides the entertainment element. What else surrounds this competition that warrants a return? So I'm thinking it's obviously a great cash cow, because at the end of the day, you and I are sitting on our couches and we are entertained by what we are seeing. But it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. So, and it's been making money for over 2 decades, right? Yeah. Successfully so, running and running and running. So that's possibly the one reason why it is making a comeback is the business element. And secondly, it could be great because it has kickstarted many careers.
Fair enough.
My only issue is we obviously have moved into a new world. I mean, post-COVID, everything is different. Yeah. We literally are thrust into a new way of seeing things, a new way of being. We are artificial intelligencing through life and all of that. How is this new season going to be different? Because if it comes back and it looks the same way it did in 2006, I'm going to have a huge problem with that. Best believe, because we don't sit in front of the television anymore and consume this stuff.
Thank you very much.
So how are you going to make it different?
We don't, but there is still quite a huge market for it. There are still people who binge watching their favorite series at the same time at 7 o'clock. They are watching the soapies and what. It had 19 seasons in total. We just listed about 3 or 4 people that we can remember from those 19 seasons. That's one of the complaints that some people may also have, that why are we bringing it back? It didn't really or create any big names or household names.
Nigeria also had idols, didn't it?
Yeah, they had. I don't know where did that one go. I don't think it did last. That one.
I don't know what happened to Idols Nigeria, but I know it was there.
And so what does it mean? Does it mean Proverb is coming back? He's going to be the host again.
Oh, he's lovely, but maybe
you want someone else?
He's wonderful, but perhaps somebody else. How is it going to be different?
You want someone else?
I want to know how it's going to be different. Yeah. Hello.
We're going to go back to Gold Reef. Not Gold Reef. What's that place?
It is Gold Reef,
Gold
actually.
Reef. Yeah, well, but there was a place.
Gold Reef, what theatre?
Carnival Mall.
Carnival for the audition.
Yes, for the audition. Then the main fest. Yo, guys, we know we are good with idols. It doesn't have to come back. Can we sign a petition and a strike and say no to idols coming back? But listen, I'm being negative about it. It's gonna create jobs, right? And that's a good thing. It's gonna create exposure to people. But now we have Instagram and TikTok. Now, if you want to be a star, just sing on TikTok and go sing there.
There's that too.
Are they going to hold auditions now and check out your video posts? How is it going to be different? Personally, my vent is that I don't know if we really need another a return of Idols essay. I think we are good. Bury that one and let's move on. What do you want to vent about? Do you want to vent about something?
I want to vent about something that actually happened at 1:53, and it happens every day, all day.
What is that?
And it's contributing to the decrease of my battery life.
What is it?
And I know this one's also going to make me sound like a terrible person, but the call center phone calls are harassing
spam
the living daylights out of me.
Okay.
Yeah, the spam phone calls. We want to sell you this. We want to give you a home loan. We want to give you 750,000 rand. We want to, we want to sell you a new tablet. We want to. Is there no other way that we can sell our wonderful product? Because I also wonder how successful it is. So if I would, because I think about these wonderful people and they're at a job. This is a job for them. This is their livelihood, right? And I wouldn't want to contribute to messing with that. But is really irritating, and that's why I'm venting about it. But is there no other way that we could come up with ways to introduce new products to people, minus the harassment,
without spamming them?
Yeah, can we? I don't know what needs to happen. I'm not going to be, arrogant and sit here and talk like I've got all the answers. But there must be, and I mean, we're in a new world. Come on, I'm sure we can think of something besides call center.
At some point, I don't know how true this was. Someone was conducting a study, and it was found that South Africa are the most spammed people in the world. We get calls every other day, every day.
Every
Telesales,
single day.
telesales. I don't know. Does it matter who's behind? The phone? Doesn't matter the voice. Maybe a soothing voice would entice you to listen, and maybe someone who I don't know. Maybe does the voice matter?
No.
Like if someone if you want to answer the phone right now, and then ding 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 ding, and you answer the phone, right, and then someone's like, "Hi, Matsheko, how are you doing?" And then
I'd be like, I'm married.
It's 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news with Matapeloma. Oh, no, it's not. It's Jwalani Tulo Mwepe, is it? Yes.
Yes.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Top stories. The Salva Allied Democratic Forces rebels kill more than 50 civilians in eastern Congo, and Nepal's Prime Minister has resigned. Good afternoon. The Allied Democratic Forces rebels have killed more than 50 civilians at a funeral in eastern Congo. This is the latest big attack by the Islamic State-linked group. The ADF assault took place last night in the town of Ntoyo in North Kivu Province's Lubero territory. The group is said to have used machetes and guns. A recent flurry of ADF attacks has added to insecurity in East Congo, where Rwanda-backed M23 rebels staged a major advance earlier this year. Last month, the ADF killed more than 50 civilians in multiple attacks, while an ADF attack in July on a church left 38 dead. Advocacy group in South Africa Accountability Now says it cannot rule out the possibility of the Madlanka Commission of Inquiry's findings being challenged by the people that might be implicated. The commission is expected to start next week following delays in acquiring essential ICT infrastructure. President Cyril Ramaphosa established it following the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Ndandla Mkhwanazi's allegations of political interference in police operations and corruption among senior South African police service officials. The commission has been widely criticised in light of its findings not being legally binding. The organisation's director, Advocate Paul Hoffman, says disputes are likely to arise from the commission's recommendations.
What the commission is obliged to do is find out what the facts are, because there are clearly disputes as to whether corruption has taken over the police or not. And once those facts are found, and the finding of fact in the commission also binds nobody. In the Zondo Commission, we have all sorts of people taking the commission on review for making factual findings against them. And that could happen again in relation to the Madlanka Commission.
Trade Union Solidarity is taking South Africa's Minister in the Presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, to court over alleged defamation. This after she claimed that Solidarity and its sister organisation AfriForum led misinformation campaigns against South Africa. This follows the two movements' visit to the US after President Donald Trump issued an executive order on South Africa. Solidarity says it's launched a defamation case against Ntshavheni, with President Cyril Ramaphosa being the second respondent. Solidarity Deputy CEO Anton van der Bijl.
The specific statement was made by the minister in the presidency on the 27th of March when she stated that Solidarity and AfriForum is busy with continued campaign of disinformation and misinformation. And it's in connection with the alleged use of the wording of white genocide by Solidarity and AfriForum. We dispute that we have used that words. So we say the narrative that we are busy with the misinformation campaign is absolutely defamatory. It cannot stand, and we must take that to court.
Cote d'Ivoire has barred two top opposition leaders from former President Laurent Gbagbo and former Credit Suisse CEO Tidjane Thiam from next month's presidential election. Incumbent President Alassane Ouattara is seeking a fourth term. The Constitutional Council had been tasked with drawing up the final list of candidates. It retained 5 bids to contest the 25th of October ballot, but eliminated Gbagbo and Thiam on the grounds that they have been removed from the electoral roll. Thiam, leader of the largest opposition force, the historically dominant PDIC party, was removed from the electoral register in April over nationality-related legal issues stemming from him acquiring French nationality. Gbagbo, head of the African People's Party, was excluded because of a criminal conviction. And finally, the Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has resigned amid public outrage over the killing of 19 anti-corruption protesters yesterday. The BBC's Fanindra Dahal has the details on the situation in Kathmandu.
I witnessed clashes between police and protesters there. Police fired few shells of tear gases. I also saw the movement of army vehicles, protesters burning wood and tires and pelting stones. Despite curfew, few people are commuting on roads and the police have not obstructed them.
Recapping the top story this hour, Allied Democratic Forces rebels have killed more than 50 civilians at a funeral in eastern Congo. This is the latest big attack by the Islamic State-linked group. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Webe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Minutes into the golden hour of the Upside. Welcome if you've just started listening. Otherwise, if you have been with us, because you are just a diehard Upsider like that, since 1 p.m. we appreciate that you stayed with us until now. Don't forget to let us know what you'd like to vent about. We're still going to have a look at those comments. If you happen to catch this broadcast live, you can post your comments on Facebook, you can post on TikTok, you can post on X. Did I mention X? Facebook, Instagram. We're here, there, and we're everywhere. In this hour, we're going to look at matters to do with education, because it has now come to our attention that a recent report came out as put together by the Human Rights Watch, and it highlights a reality around African governments and how they are falling short when it comes to being able to meet global and regional education funding targets, which means that millions of children across the African region then will remain without access to quality learning. This is a big problem. We are looking here at the numbers, and the numbers are always factual, okay? 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. So this is a shortfall that we cannot allow as a continent, as a people, if we really want to harness emerging technologies, if we want to move forward, if we want to contribute to Agenda 2060, if we want to globalize, and really build quality structures within education, we cannot allow this. So this is a conversation we're going to be having as inspired by this report put together by the Human Rights Watch, and we're going to be speaking to Mick Mann, who is the co-chief executive officer of Singularity in South Africa.
I didn't know there were co-CEOs. Is that a thing?
I also, actually, that is fascinating. So
First time I see it, actually.
So perhaps the co-CEO, I would imagine, is a co-founded company. So Tebogo and Matsheko have founded the Upside Pty Ltd, right? And we both equal directors. Our directorship is equal. So then we just split the...
Why?
It still doesn't make sense.
Make one CEO and make the other like a managing
COO.
director or COO. Right. It's still the co-CEO. Anyway, that's not the conversation we'll be having. We'll be having a very important conversation about we want to get into an AI-driven environment and spearhead AI, but we can't overlook the basic needs. We cannot overlook infrastructure, developmental needs that need to be invested in by governments in the educational sector to get us to a level where we are competing with the rest of the world. It's 10 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. That conversation is coming up next. Welcome to the second hour of The Upside.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix. Wewe ni mjasiriamali unajihusisha na biashara ya kuuza dawa. Jaribu kutuambia kwanza, kwa nini ulianzisha biashara hiyo?
Tutasema kwamba maisha ya kila siku ni kwamba mtu anapaswa kuwa na maisha ya kuweza kujitegemea. Usitegemee kuajiriwa, lakini utegemee kujiajiri na baadaye utaweza ukaajiri wengine. Na hiyo ilinipa msukumo mkubwa kwa kuweza kujiajiri na kampuni hii kwa ajili ya kuweza kuwasaidia wale ambao wanahangaika zaidi.
Unauza aina gani ya dawa?
Unasema ni dawa, lakini kwetu sisi tunaita kama vile ni pipi, ambayo ni virutubisho ambavyo vinakwenda kusaidia kwa wale ambao wanatatizwa na aina tofauti ya magonjwa.
Virutubisho hivyo sasa vinatibu magonjwa gani?
Virutubisho hivi vinatunza magonjwa kama vile ya kisukari, shinikizo la damu.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
champesha champonyana pamukusao ili ashile mfwalile bane awe nalishupa ngo wafwalanga James Sakala abati yori wakale kanwa maguchi na mavesashi abanyoli awe nishiba kusumina na konsole abakashana baleti
Gawafwale chitenge yeye bachikula bwangu kumwena moiti kwembe maliposa bachikula bwangu kumwena mo nomba kafwale shani kumakonga fwale shani kumakuweba kafwale shani pamulungu kafwale shani
nowadays wala mbona fembulinga na popo kati yo apachamboli wale nsarusha nkotiza ino shachikala mbana sana tishamayo mfala mapedo mfale garagata mfale mariposa mfale bemuda nomati fwala yo soda good soldiers look nice like soldiers wow Nifala sati ni dedi yo Tosa nikabane mfefeni fyo ndekeni Nemwine nkwanisha mayo mwadi mpata Igo pati na garagata Budo, don't judge me because I don't wear Versace, Gucci, whatever you call it Budo, notu mwone kemba patunsa Pato vwele barakata na polishi Vino nzwele na onekani ngoside Nene monsi mwe mwanche badi mwe Maizi na naiki tefya kuline Fwade mpapapa ya chifudile
chitenge yeye bachikula bwangu kumwena moiti kwembe maliposa bachikula bwangu kumwena mo nomka fwaleshani kumakonga fwaleshani kumakuweba kafwaleshani pamulungu kafwaleshani kafualeshani
Nowadays valambona fembulinga na popo kati yo opachamboli Valenza rushankotiza ino shachikalambana sana tishamayo mfala mabedo mfale garakata mfale mariposa mfale bemuda Number tufala diyo gorgeous Jordan wow good soldiers you look nice High gorgeous that's wow feel gorgeous you look nice Ela yama tungen salunji kakengo wesh katinge chalo Gana sona boringo ninjiala sanda ya kalovasati Eko tuwane fwana bemuda na garagata Natangali kufayo kubalakata Etoloshi pepe kale nintumbila la yama tape kale Sona naike ya mukomfana Gachite vyati kuntwana Mufiri mbana chitenge matirio mimonekele fyapesile mponya kilo
chitenge yeye bachikula bwangu kumwena moiti kwembe maliposa bachikula bwangu kumwena mo nomba kafualeshani kumakonga fualeshani kumakuwebo kafualeshani kamulungu kafualeshani
Nowadays valambona fembulinga na popo kati yo opachamboli Valenza rushankotiza ino shachikalambana sana tishamayo mfala mabedo mfale garakata mfale mariposa mfale bemuda Number tufala diyo gorgeous Jordan wow good soldiers you look nice High gorgeous that's wow feel gorgeous you look nice
You already know what it is, right? Master,
Anende Anende Anende
It's 16 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Chandana K there coming through with James Sakala with Dior. Beautiful music coming to you on the upside this afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are live on our social media platforms. That's at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. If you have DSTV, it's channel 802. Alternatively, download that SABC Plus app so you can take us with you wherever you go. And if you'd like to revisit our conversations, the podcasts, go to www.channelafrica.co.za. Let's talk about AI and education in South Africa. Are we making the right leap forward or leaps forward, or are we hitting a few snags along the way?
A very important conversation. Anything to do with education is very, very serious. So a recent report by the Human Rights Watch has highlighted a reality around African governments and the fact that they have consistently fallen short of meeting global and regional education funding targets. This means that it is leaving millions of children without access to quality learning. And when we look at the statistics, they tell us that 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. So this shortfall is not a joke. It doesn't only threaten individual futures, but it also really puts the continent's potential to harness emerging technologies at a severe disadvantage. Across Africa, new technologies like artificial intelligence are being created to come through with opportunity to transform the space of learning. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what this report is teaching us, what the possibilities are that remain for us to shape government, to shape policy, to of course, then align that with community alongside the private sector. On the line with us, Mick Mann, who is CEO of Singularity South Africa. Mick, wonderful to have you join us this afternoon. I think the work of Singularity South Africa as an organization is very important because you're leveraging on technology, such as artificial intelligence, robotics, etc. Tell us more.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think, it's so important for us to embrace these technologies and these skills of the future if we want to lead in the future, because Ray Kurzweil, one of the founders of Singularity, has been predicting a lot of these advancements since 1998, and he's got them accurate to the year. So it's so important for us to bring this knowledge, to empower people, to inspire them with the right mindset and skill set so that we can take action.
We are currently in conversation with Mick Mann, and we're talking about bridging the digital divide in African schools to ensure every child can thrive in an AI-driven future. It's 19 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. If you have any questions for Mick, send them through on our WhatsApp line. It's +27 63 406 9126. We'll continue the conversation right after this.
Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Matsheko, Mosito and Tebogo Lekhuleni on the upside.
Well, let's unpack the report by Human Rights Watch, which has revealed that most African governments are failing to meet global and regional education funding targets, leaving millions of children without access to quality learning. And we continue with this conversation with Mick Mann, co-CEO of Singularity South Africa. Mick, let's talk about this underfunding issue, because it's such a critical risk and poses such a critical risk in a continent where the majority of the population is under 25. Why is it still the case that underfunding is still a major problem?
So I think it's, if we look at what's going on around the world, there's this great AI race that's happening between, some of the biggest nations in the world, and it's mainly between America and China that are leading the AI investment at the moment. And then, there are parts of Europe that are doing it, a lot of, the UAE and all of that starting to get on board. But as Africa, we've really been under-investing in this opportunity, and it's so important to invest in teacher training and digital infrastructure, tooling, and we need to create these AI-powered learning tools so that we could thrive in the future and not be left behind, in this AI race that is so prevalent and so urgent in front of our eyes at the moment.
Mick, let's elaborate on that. Let's stay on that note for a second and look at artificial intelligence and how we can actually leverage on it effectively, especially in the African classroom, so that we can improve learning outcomes. I think particularly when we look at under-resourced or disadvantaged areas.
Yeah, so if you look at, there was a great competition that's called the X Prize, which is part of Singularity, where they offer huge cash incentives for solving big problems in the world. And the Global Learning X Prize was around, can you teach a student basic maths and English without a teacher on a tablet using AI? And that ran for about 5 years, and we had 2 winners come out of that just a year and a half ago, where they created this AI solution that could help students learn. And now what we're seeing in a lot of schools in America, they actually are doing AI learning for the first 2 hours of the classroom of the school curriculum. Then the rest of the day is spent learning in groups and how to have a collaboration between other humans and learn about group learning. So, these AIs can act as your personal tutors. They can adapt lessons. They've got diagnostic tools to see where you're weak and maybe give you more training on your weaker areas so that you can improve there. And it really just enhances and advances the learning in ways we've never seen before.
And Mick, it sounds amazing. I mean, it sounds like a dream to get to that point and to get to that particular place. That's a different conversation. When we look at the digital divide, which remains quite a huge barrier in South Africa and in Africa, what are some of the most urgent, according to you, and perhaps what you have been exposed to, what are some of the most urgent steps that need to be taken to ensure that rural and under-resourced schools don't get left behind because they don't have the infrastructure to handle things like AI and these digital advancements?
So that, I think, it's definitely a dream, but it's a real dream. It's actually happening. And because of this acceleration of these exponential technologies, what we teach at Singularity, what we're going to be teaching at our big Singularity Summit coming up on the 22nd and 23rd of October, in person and in the metaverse, which is, the 3D immersive worlds that we need to teach our youth about. How do we become digitally fluent in those environments, in those experiences, is that how do we, as these technologies are advancing, it's becoming cheaper to use AR, and it's requiring less power and less compute. So one of the main areas we need to focus on for investment is around connectivity. We need affordable devices. We need renewable energy to power these rural schools so that they can actually have access to this incredible new tool like a hammer that we've got at our disposal. Because once you start using it, I'm sure you guys are using AI every day.
Of course.
For different tasks and for different, parts of your life, and the students, when they get access to these tools, create magical things that feel dreamlike, but they're real.
It is real, and it is here, Mick. It is here. So you speak about, the upcoming summit and the work that's already being done with Singularity. Talk to us about the biggest challenges that Singularity South Africa is facing in terms of being able to scale innovation when it comes to educational technologies across the African context, if you will.
Yeah, so for us, we try make sure that we bring the best minds from around the world. So there's a global perspective. We've got people coming from America, from Dubai, from China, from Europe. Really across quite a cross section of the globe, from Australia. Talking about how we're going to get ready for a post-AGR world when we reach artificial general intelligence. How are we preparing for that? Because that's when everything changes, for us, and all of our lives are going to evolve into the, new types of work and new types of thinking that we can't even imagine now. Ray Kurzweil from Singularity says we're going to see more change in the next 5 to 10 years than we've seen in the last 100 years. So it's pretty, crazy what's coming at us.
Yeah.
And for us, we get a lot of student bursaries. We've got over 28 institutions that have applied for bursaries to attend in the metaverse for our summit, that we were gifting those bursaries to students that write. We've had hundreds of applications that are really beautifully written and with great motivations, and that just shows the commitment and the hunger for this type of learning. So for us, it's like, how do we educate, empower, and inspire these people so that they can use these tools that are available for everyone, just with connectivity and a device, and that's one of the ways we are trying to mitigate, because we get a lot of leaders coming to learn at the summit, top CEOs and executives and boards and excos, and they very important for them to understand these tools because they are making decisions that affect so many of us in all of their different daily, routines and all of their different daily decisions. If an executive has to make a call on embracing artificial intelligence or robotics, humanoid robots that are going to help in so many different ways. If they have to make a decision for that, if they're educated and they understand it better, they can help make a better decision that will have an impact for all of their customers, all of their employees, and all of their kids at those organizations. So it's about educating leaders, and for us to scale now in metaverse, which are these 3D environments with gamification and social tools and hyper-realistic avatars now, so you actually look like yourself. And the students go in and they're native in these worlds, that through things like Roblox and Minecraft, they can actually navigate in these spaces. And this is where the new work is going to be. Are you creating clothing? Or are you creating environments? Are you creating games, or entertaining people in these 3D immersive experiences?
Endless possibilities. Mick, if you'd like to be a part of the summit, where can we find information and get tickets?
So you can go to susasummit.org, SUSA summit.org on the website, and you can get an in-person or metaverse ticket. If you're a student and you want to apply for a bursary, there's a bursary application also on the website. And then you can obviously follow us on all the social channels. We post a lot of information around these technologies. I've actually cloned myself, guys. So I've cloned myself. And I've delivered over 300 AI news stories this year.
Wow.
Where I haven't actually done anything. I haven't been into studio or anything. So it's, it's phenomenal what's possible with this technology. And the creativity is just next level. And we have to, the more we embrace it, the more we use it, and the more we put out our own creations, the better we're going to be, and the more we're going to future-proof ourselves and our next generation.
All right. Mick, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Does the clone also get paid, or it's just you?
He works on electricity.
Mick, thank you so much for your time. The voice of Mick Mans, co-CEO of Singularity South Africa. Go check out their website and be part of the summit that's coming up in October. It's 30 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African time. Fix what's happening in the world of sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
I will start with Zimbabwe. In cricket, Zimbabwe have confirmed they will host Namibia in a 3-match T20 international series next week ahead of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa Regional Final 2025. The 3 matches will be held at Queen Sports Club in Bulawayo from the 15th of September, with both Zimbabwe and Namibia set to use the matches as vital preparations for the regional final event in Harare between the 26th of September and the 4th of October. A total of 8 teams will battle it out in the regional event, with the top 2 finishers earning a place at next year's ICC Men's T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. The 3 matches against Namibia will be held on the 15th, the 16th and the 18th of September. On to football news, Nigeria's captain William Trust Enkong has dismissed claims that the Super Eagles' individual star power is holding the team back. A stuttering start to their FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign has left Nigeria 6 points adrift of Group C leader South Africa, making tonight's clash at the Free State Stadium a must-win. Speaking ahead of the decisive fixture, Trust Enkong rejected suggestions that egos or reputations are to blame for the team's struggles.
Again, maybe it might be your opinion. I see, live, breathe this team from the inside out. If there's one thing that I have to say about the team now, there's a real unity, togetherness, understanding, players that want to fight for the same direction, regardless of what club you play for, who you are. There's a real brotherhood in the team, so I don't have to go into too much detail, but I can really dismiss that issue if that's something that people are talking about. So that's not even something that I think about.
Nigeria must raise their level against Bafana Bafana, with Trust Enkong conceding their destiny is no longer entirely in their own hands.
For us, it's like, again, we only can control the things that are with us. The coach already spoke about the FIFA situation, CAF situation, not with us. The other games that South Africa, Lesotho teams have to play afterwards, not with us. So we can't focus on that. I think any thought of that is a distraction. Like I said, we believe in it. So we've got nine more points and this important game tomorrow to play for. So that's the only thing that we can think about.
Some more FIFA news. Libya and Ghana both secured important victories in their respective FIFA World Cup qualifying campaigns for 2026 on Monday evening, with results that could prove pivotal in the race for group supremacy and a place at the 2026 Global Showpiece. In Benghazi, Libya produced a dominant first-half display to see off Eswatini 2-0 to move further up Group D. And the result leaves Libya into third place in Group D, reviving their hopes of staying in contention for qualification. Meanwhile, in Kumasi, Ghana edged a tense 1-0 battle against Mali in Group I. We will end with rugby news. New Zealand has called on former captain Richie McCaw for inspiration ahead of their second rugby championship test against South Africa, saying they want to go to another level. The two-time World Cup winning skipper McCaw joined the All Black squad in Wellington ahead of Saturday's rematch after the home side edged a tight contest 24-17 at Eden Park. Midfield back Quinn Tupaia said McCaw's presence had already given the players a lift. Tupaia, who scored the final try to keep the fast-finishing Springboks at bay at Eden Park, is wary the visitors will be highly motivated to reverse the result. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figile Lungwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Thulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Thulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African Perspective. This Heritage Month, we honor the beauty of our differences and the strength of our cultures. Listen to Channel Africa on satellite channel PAS10.
36 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest in business news. Nosipho Zuma is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, the South African Federation of Trade Unions, SAFTU, has called for a meeting with the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Park Stau, as well as the Minister of Employment and Labour, Nomakosazana Meth. SAFTU says it wants the two ministers to address the unfolding unemployment crisis in the manufacturing sector. The trade union has accused the government of not doing enough to come up with a solution to the growing unemployment crisis. The union's General Secretary, Zwelinzima Mavavi.
There's been no real engagement between the key players to try and find real solution, long-term solution to the crisis. Network has to be transformed to be a structure where real engagement between the captains of industry, the government at the most senior level, and labor community at the most senior level begin to confront the issue.
Data released by Statistics South Africa shows that investment in the country remains depressed, while negatively affecting economic growth. The latest gross domestic product number indicates that the country's economy grew by 0.8% in the second quarter, following an increase of 0.1% in the first quarter of the year. Statistician General Risenga Maluleka elaborates.
Investments have been depressed for quite some time. If you look right from about the third quarter of 2023, they've been growing in the negative. The only time they went in the positive was just 0.2%. I think it was in the third quarter of 2024. But otherwise, they've continued growing in the negative.
Ethiopia has officially inaugurated Africa's largest hydroelectric dam. The project is set to provide energy to millions of Ethiopians while deepening a rift with downstream Egypt that has unsettled the region. The country sees the $5 billion Ethiopian Renaissance Dam eventually rise to 5,150 megawatt from the 750 that its two active turbines are already producing. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said the country will use the energy to improve Ethiopians' access to electricity while also exporting surplus power to the region. Senegal has raised its 2025 oil output forecast for the Sangoma offshore field operated by Australia's Woodside Energy Group to 34.5 million barrels from 30.53 million. The Sangoma field started output in June 2024, making Senegal an oil-producing nation. Now, according to an Energy Ministry statement published on X from January to August, Sangoma produced more than 24 million barrels of crude oil. And finally, U.S. grocery store player Walmart has announced that it plans to open its first branded stores in South Africa later this year. Their stores will offer fresh groceries, household essentials, clothing and technology, adding emphasis on sourcing products from local SMEs. The company, which now owns local retailer Massmart, says its latest decision underscores its commitment to availing high-quality, affordable and more accessible products to consumers. The exact locations and days of the opening of its new stores are yet to be announced. Massmart CEO Miles van Rensburg has more details.
Today, Walmart announced plans to open our first Walmart-branded stores in South Africa later this year. This news demonstrates Walmart's commitment to making high-quality, affordable merchandise accessible to more customers in our market, and it's great news for both our country and our economy. We'll announce official opening dates of our store locations in a few weeks.
Your financial indicators: $1 US in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 514, and Botswana it's 13 pula 30. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 30, and in Zambia it's 23 kwacha 89. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 42. Russia is 81 rubles 92. India, it's 88 rupees 02. China, it's 7 yuan 13. And in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 54. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,650 and platinum at $1,392 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $66.44 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mosito Zuma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can only get it on the upside. Every weekday, 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
Well, it is 14:42. Welcome back to the Upside on Channel Africa. About to get into another conversation before we wrap up this hour. Wonderful to have you join us. So, a recent progress in international reading literacy study has revealed a sobering truth that 81% of grade 4 learners in South Africa are unable to read for meaning. This finding has sparked renewed concerns over the country's literacy crisis and highlights the urgent need for collaborative solutions, as it were. So from the parent to the school to the government, the governing bodies, everyone getting involved, as well as private organizations. Reading, especially in a child's home language, is a cornerstone of learning and development. Without it, the path to academic success, unfortunately, becomes more and more difficult. So we're going to be looking at this from the point of view of one organization that is working to change this picture. TAQA Africa, I believe it's called. And they are a storytelling startup, as we understand it, that produces children's video books, and they do so in 11 official South African languages. So we're using South Africa as an example, but it doesn't matter where you are in the African region. This conversation around literature, is very, very important, and promoting this is really what we are doing here. So let's get into conversation with Kawe Bula, who is CEO at this wonderful organization. Welcome to Channel Africa. Thank you very much for the time.
Hello. Hi. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. I need the correct pronunciation. Is it TAQA or is it TAQA? Tell us more about what inspired the start of this wonderful initiative, and, you targeting and wanting to assist the young child.
Sure. Thank you for the question. It's TAQA. So it's the letter. Yes.
Right.
TAQA. And I guess to be brief, to summarize why we started it, I think it's a passion for access to quality education, and understanding that South Africa has a deep crisis in terms of reading in South Africa, both from the perspective of, the ability to read, that as you stated, some of the latest studies suggest that over 70% of grade 4 learners can't read for meaning at grade level. Similarly, though, there's a crisis in terms of the availability of books in African home languages. Also knowing that PASA's report suggests that less than 2% of commercially published children's books are in African home languages. So we wanted to really make a dent and change this by, one, breaking barriers to access to literature using technology, and making books cheaply available online, but two, making those books available in 11 official South African languages, and lastly, making them exciting and engaging, for children to use, so that they can read at home before school, but also so that it can supplement the learning happening in schools and classrooms by what you do at home after school and perhaps in your reading hour in class.
Kawe, let's talk about combining the text, the audio, and the illustrations, making reading more engaging. How effective has this been on the children?
Sure. I think what we can clearly see, one, is that it's a very exciting form of storytelling. In that, the digital economy right now, children are watching Mrs. Rachel, they're watching Coco Melon, and a lot of really exciting things. So sometimes it's hard when you present something that, can't integrate into that community or into that existing ecosystem, but still, require the work of reading, where it's not a fully passive experience. A child can still, yes, you can see the illustration, but it's not moving. You can see the words and you can hear, and in this way, one, the story is exciting, but two, it actually helps children learn how to read. I think perhaps the second really key effect is that a lot of parents don't read to their children, not because they don't want to, but because of confidence, in their own ability to read. And so when you're a nervous reader, you don't read to your child. So the other bit where we're really effective is helping parents who might not have the confidence to read to a child themselves, but can still present the story with a narrator to the child, and they can still enjoy Ibali as well as the educational value of that story.
There is so much value in the work that you are doing at TAQA. And I think also so beautiful that we're having this conversation with you, Kawe, as we observe International Literacy Day. In fact, that was observed yesterday, as proclaimed by UNESCO in 1966. But also, just for proximity, South Africa is also observing National Book Week, which, as I understand it, is between the 2nd and the 11th of September on an annual basis. So let's talk about, using this time to talk about literacy, to talk about the work that you do, access to books, using literacy and the art of ukfunda to create community. Yes, perhaps I'm a parent that's not so confident, and you mentioned something so important. Maybe I don't know how to read with confidence, or how to read a storybook and bring the characters alive. For example, if it's going to be a fictional read for a 6-year-old or for a 3-year-old, how can literacy be used to grow community and to get other people that can do this work to form reading circles? You know, back, the way we used to do it, like when we had Umbaula back in the day. How can we do that now?
Sure. I think, a quick answer that's somewhat already in practice, but I think we need to tap into so much deeply, and perhaps some of these virtual platforms also make that easier, is book clubs. Is that there's a lot of book clubs in South Africa, and it's an age-old thing, but it really does form community, and people have an opportunity, and perhaps the best way to consume stories, in that, you have an opportunity to come together with your community. You can then tell a story that people can engage in and relate with, and then have a full discussion about that story. I think one of the things that stories do really well in terms of helping us build connection is that, most of the time, sometimes you can see someone you directly relate in a story, but oftentimes it's a story that, you relate in from a human perspective, but that person isn't exactly like you. And I think it helps build empathy, in that you get to empathize with the character, without sometimes some of the personal dynamics or personal feelings. So I think it helps us also empathize with other people, and enjoy a single thing together that we can enjoy. And I guess the last thing, similar to what you said, is storytelling is an age-old thing, that people have been practicing for centuries and still do. And I think amongst the beauties of a story is to retell a story. So I think you can listen to a Taka audio book or a Taka video book and really enjoy that, but go and retell it to someone else. And I know sometimes we're afraid of broken telephone and you don't get a story exactly right. But I think that's part of the beauty of it, that when you retell a story, it often takes on a little bit of your personality too, and will have a little bit of your personal jazz on the story. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Africa. It's 10 minutes before 3 p.m. Central African time. We continue the conversation about this platform, storytelling startup producing children's video books in all 11 South African official languages. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Tulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Tulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. They talk about what Africans say about Africa.
With 81% of South Africa's grade 4 learners not being able to read for meaning, platforms like Taka Africa, storytelling startup producing children's video books in all 11 of South Africa's official languages, is allowing us to bridge that gap and reduce that number. On the line, we are joined by Uqhawe Bula, Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Taka Africa. Let's talk about access, Uqhawe, because a lot of digital solutions are often criticized for being out of reach for many, in rural communities. How is Taka ensuring that that is not the case with your platform?
Sure. I think let me give two responses to this. The first will answer directly, and another kind of offers an alternative viewpoint. So I think one, while it's true that there's a difficulty of connectivity in South Africa and a difficulty of devices. Yeah. Smartphones do have a pretty strong penetration in the country of South Africa, and so what we've done, Guataka, is to make books available not only say from a laptop or a tablet, but even just if you have any kind of smartphone. you are able to access the story. I think the second bit still on this is, you can work with various kinds of telecommunications companies to make books data free or cheap, or low data usage. So for example, we run a channel on the Ayoba messaging app where we release all of our audiobooks, and all of those books, you can listen to for free or without data if you're an MTN user. So there's a number of strategies we employ here. But I think the last thing to say is the world is moving forward, and there's an extent to which we need to build with that in mind, right? So when we're building solutions to help capacitate schools, it's important that even while we're trying to plug very real and painful existing gaps, that we build in a way that's also future forward. So I think it's quite important that, while we're plugging those gaps, we are building means that, equip children for the digital world, such that they are able to use these devices and are able to gain some of the advantages that will be necessary later in their educational journey. So one is to say there are gaps, and there's ways in which we look to tackle that. But two, I think even with those existing, it's quite important that with the solutions we build, yes, we look to plug all of these existing gaps, but we still build in a way that's future forward and that's hoping to equip children for the world of today.
Future forward, but also I think it's so admirable through this work that the fact that you have diversified in language, in this manner, means that you want to reflect, and you're intentional about reflecting South Africa's cultural and heritage diversity. So with that said, let's talk about just some of the advantages of and importance actually of being able to read in a familiar language, in your mother tongue. What does that do for comprehension and cognitive development?
It's absolutely critical. Research from educationalists, from linguists, has long suggested that children learn best in their own home languages. That's part of the reason that, although apartheid is to be regretted holistically, but that's one of the reasons that the education system for Afrikaners has been so strong. It's because in the 60s, the apartheid government, particularly for Afrikaner children, built a system that allowed them to learn within their home languages. And we know that when it comes to learning, a learning program that teaches you to read in your home language can produce a functionally literate reader in 3 years versus, a second language program, which would then take up to 5 years. So it's really important from the level of comprehension. I think it's important that everything you learn in class is reinforced by your everyday environment. And it's important that when we're teaching you, we're making use of your existing linguistic resources. So when we abandon your context and we abandon your existing linguistic resources and bring you something that's completely foreign, it elongs the process of you reading. It makes it harder and leaves you behind, frankly. It ensures children remain disadvantaged, or Black children remain disadvantaged by being unable to read in their own home languages. And the second bit is just what you said, that it's so important that we keep our languages alive, and languages die when they aren't used.
Yeah.
They die when we don't practice them. And we sometimes take for granted, but in the reality, over 40% of the world's languages are endangered. And if we don't take active steps to use our languages, to keep them alive, and we understand that the importance is not just as a communication tool, it's as a worldview, it's as identity, it's as our history and who we are, we'll lose those languages. So it's really important from that perspective as well.
Utaka, is it available for free? Do we pay a subscription for it? Is it accessible only in specific areas? Tell us about access.
Sure, thank you. So we do have some stuff that is available for free. So if you go to the Ayoba messaging app, or you go to SoundCloud or Spotify or various other platforms, you can access Taka audiobooks for free. What is on a pay gate is our video books, and these live only on the Taka web app. And for these, though, we are still much cheaper than the average price for a children's book, and that you can buy a Taka video book for 120 rands on the Taka web app, which is www.taka.africa. But beyond that, you can also access our audiobooks on SoundCloud, on Spotify, and a number of streaming platforms.
It sounds very exciting, and I think you mentioned the affordability of the product online. For those that do have access, that are listening to our program, and if you happen to catch this broadcast, whenever you're going to catch it, because we're going to share the YouTube video with you online, is you can give the gift of reading. It can be a gift. I can buy the book for 120 and gift it to a child in Onu, gift it to a child in Kailicha, gift it to a child in Soweto, gift it to a child anywhere in Khomo, in, whatever, in Kanana, in Rustenburg. So the gift is there in 11 official languages, and I think it's remarkable. Kawe, all the best, man. I think you have a solid plan, sir. And it is wonderful to see that literacy is definitely in good hands. And the way you present this work really is just so beautiful, also very, very important. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you very much, Nyabulela, and have a good Tuesday.
Siyabulela nakuwe. Please just remind us of the website again if we do want to check out the variety of books you've got.
Yes, it is www.daqa.africa. You can also find us as Daqa Africa on all of the social media platforms.
All right. Kawebula, CEO and co-founder of Daqa Africa. Hey, there I was, TAQA. Daqa. Kaloku.
TAQA.
Because it looked like an abbreviation for something.
Don't we have something similar in the South African educational space? Isn't it the SAQA?
Yeah, but
what do you call that?
That's where I was stuck. I don't know. But listen, this is a wonderful find.
A brilliant initiative this is.
Yeah.
A brilliant initiative.
Totally.
I love the advocacy for learning and reading and studying in your own home language. I was, and not to shade anyone, I was this weekend saw parents, black family, and the kids were just talking English the whole time. English. But the parents were talking Setswana. But the kids were speaking English the whole time. English. So it's very important to ensure that we raise them with confidence in their own home languages and expose them to literature that further enhances and develops that confidence. It's 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest news. Jolani Tulungwepe standing by.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Top stories. The Sawa ICC begin hearings to finalize charges against fugitive Ugandan warlord, and more than 100 South Korean women file a lawsuit against the U.S. military. Good afternoon. The International Criminal Court judges have begun hearings to finalize charges against fugitive Ugandan warlord Joseph Kony. Kony, the leader of Rebel Lord's Resistance Army, is the ICC's longest-standing fugitive. Deputy Prosecutor Mame Madiaye Niang said ICC prosecutors want to charge him with 39 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity, including murder, rape, using child soldiers, sexual slavery and forced pregnancy between 2002 and 2005. An arrest warrant was issued against him in 2005. Legal experts say the proceedings could act as a blueprint for other high-profile ICC suspects at large, including Russian President Vladimir Putin and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Allied Democratic Forces rebels have killed more than 50 civilians at a funeral in eastern Congo. This is the latest big attack by the Islamic State-linked group. The ADF assault took place last night in the town of Ntoyo in North Kivu Province's Lubero territory. The group is said to have used machetes and guns. A recent flurry of ADF attacks has added to insecurity in East Congo, where Rwanda-backed M23 rebels staged a major advance earlier this year. Last month, the ADF killed more than 50 civilians in multiple attacks, while an ADF attack in July on a church left 38 dead. Advocacy group in South Africa Accountability Now says it cannot rule out the possibility of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry's findings being challenged by the people that might be implicated. The commission is expected to start next week following delays in acquiring essential ICT infrastructure. President Cyril Ramaphosa established it following the KwaZulu-Natal National Police Commissioner Ndlanda Mkhwanazi's allegations of political interference in police operations and corruption among senior South African police service officials. The commission has been widely criticised in light of its findings not being legally binding. The organisation's director, Advocate Paul Hoffman, says disputes are likely to arise from the commission's recommendations.
What the commission is obliged to do is find out what the facts are, because there are clearly disputes as to whether corruption has taken over the police or not. And once those facts are found, and the finding of fact in the commission also binds nobody. In the Zondo Commission, we have all sorts of people taking the commission on review for making factual findings against them. And that could happen again in relation to the Matlanga Commission.
The South African National AIDS Council, SANEC, is optimistic about a groundbreaking HIV prevention option. Lena Kabvir, the innovative jab, is awaiting registration with the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. SANEC says the Health Department is developing a rollout plan with support from the Global Fund for initial funding. SANEC CEO Tembisile Lekhuleni says there's significant anticipated demand for the jab in the country, particularly amongst high-risk groups such as young women, sex workers and other vulnerable populations. Lekhuleni was speaking at the second day of the 12th SA AIDS Conference in Kempton Park in Lekhuleni.
We are now actually making sure that our communities are guiding even the service delivery models. Where do you issue this jab if it's meant for people that are not living with HIV, who might not necessarily want to come to healthcare facilities? So there is a whole demand creation for a jab where we are working with that, and the only way we can get that done is when communities are involved.
And finally, more than 100 South Korean women say they were forced to work as prostitutes for American soldiers stationed in the country and have filed a landmark lawsuit. They are demanding an apology and damages from the U.S. military. They accuse the forces of illegally promoting the sex trade for decades and locking them up to forcibly treat them for sexually transmitted infections. The U.S. military has said it won't comment on an active case but does not condone behavior that violates Korean laws. Recapping the top story this hour, the International Criminal Court judges have begun hearings to finalize charges against fugitive Ugandan warlord Joseph Kony. For any news stories you would like to share with us, please do send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa News, I'm Jolani Tulo Wepe.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with Tebogo, Lekhuleni and Matsheko, Mosito. And I tell you what, man, I'm excited about this final hour because we're going to be talking all things YouTube. YouTube has an awards coming up, right? It's called the YouTube Works Awards.
I cannot
South
take you.
Africa.
I cannot take you anywhere, can I?
What? What happened?
Why are you saying YouTube?
Did I say it wrong?
It's YouTube,
Oh.
not YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. YouTube Works Awards South Africa. It's the very first. It's an event that will be celebrating the country's most effective and creative ad campaigns on the platform. I don't know why we are celebrating ad campaigns on YouTube. Don't just skip those ones. No. Let's be honest. Let's have proper, honest conversation.
Let's have the conversation.
If you are on YouTube, do you watch the ads?
You know, I'll be honest.
Mm.
Okay, I haven't done it in recent months, but in the beginning with the whole ads thing, especially when they float around in the middle of the video, I would actually let the ad run if it's a YouTube channel that I really, 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 really like.
Because they can monetize and get paid for that.
They benefit from that financially. All right. So I would let the ad run. I haven't done it in a minute, but I think it's important to.
So does that mean that I'm a horrible person then? Because I have the premium YouTube.
That's
one,
ad-free.
That one without ads, yes. Does that mean I'm a horrible person then?
No,
I'm not contributing to their content creation then?
No, you're a wonderful person, because the fact that you've added a view, that's still a contribution.
That's a qualifying view, isn't it?
100%. So it's definitely qualifying. No, without a doubt.
Right.
You can watch 100 times, and that will the entire 100 times will benefit. So we all do it differently, but let's speak to Lorraine London, who is head of advertising products and solutions at Google SSA, and she's going to tell us more about what we're talking about and these awards and the significance of them.
Amazing. And because it's quite a milestone for YouTube as well, because 20 years of YouTube. 20, that means when? 2005. 2005. Can you remember your first YouTube video that you saw? Do you even remember?
I think it was by somebody called Mango Island Mama.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Mango Island Mama. I think that was the first video I watched, if memory serves me correctly. But she's since changed her name and changed her entire life. And that is another thing worth celebrating, is the fact that YouTube for 20 years has really changed people's lives.
Absolutely. No.
You know,
we're
really has. So that's quite important.
We're not going to downplay that. And then in terms of short, do you watch the shorts or do you like watching the long format when you're on YouTube? Which one do you prefer?
You know, in recent times, I'm enjoying the shorts. I never thought
it's that TikTok thing.
I never thought I would be that person. Perhaps that's what it is, because now I am a shorty.
It's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. I didn't know you were talking literally there or what. 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside.
No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802, The Midnight Snack, 12 to 3 a.m.
Our fitness coach, her name is Yvonne Dimakazo Pasha. How to remain consistent with gyms, Dima, and I'm going to put you on the spot right now. As we are talking, I will send you my picture, and I want you to tell me what you think I should work on. Because, you know, when I look at myself, Dima, I think I'm very handsome. I'm so good looking, like, oh my goodness. Like here at Channel Africa where I work, I think I'm one of the most good-looking people ever. Like sometimes when I look at myself in the mirror, I never get used to how good I look. I'm just amazing.
You're okay with the way you're looking? You wish people could and now you want to put me on the spot.
Do I need gym?
Yeah. I mean, if you can just consider eating healthy, cutting down a few foodstuffs such as junk.
The Midnight Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Chanduko Ligege. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Lekhuleni and Matsheko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African Perspective.
It is 12 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. We're going to take a quick breather, listen to some music. And when we get back, we talk about all things YouTube. And in celebration of 20 years. And then also the brand new, the very first YouTube Works Awards South Africa. That conversation is coming up next.
Call us on +27 63 406 9126.
I can see my whole world changing.
And contribute to the conversation.
grab a seat, get comfortable. I suffer for another woman. Did I endure pain, inexplicable pain for another lady? No, baby, be damned if I walk away just to let her have a taste of your love, my love, real love, built on my tears, pain, sweat, and blood. No, I'm never giving up. No, I'm never letting up. So I'm holding on, no letting go. So baby, grab a seat, get comfortable, 'cause this my place, my space. I was here first. Ooh, grab a seat, get comfortable. I call dibs on what is mine. She can't have you. You're my life, can't you see? I know we aren't meant to be, but there is something inside of me, and it won't budge, stays in my head. My patience is thin as a thread. Baby, don't test me. Oh, baby, don't test me. Baby, don't test me. You know I love you. I'll always be there for you. This is my place. Baby, this is my space. I was here first. Grab a seat, get comfortable. Ooh. I say I know so far.
La Bianca coming through with My Place on Channel Africa, 16 minutes into the grand finale of the show, with 16 minutes rather into the 3 p.m. hour. Welcome if you've just started listening, otherwise welcome back.
All right. Tomorrow, Johannesburg will host the very first YouTube Works Awards South Africa, an event that celebrates the country's most effective and creative ad campaigns on the platform. Presented in partnership with Kanta, the awards honor storytelling, audience connection, and measurable impact across 6 categories. As YouTube marks its 20th anniversary, it's not just about ads. The platform has become a career path for young Africans, opened doors in the multi-billion-dollar creator economy, and transformed advertising into something more authentic and culturally relevant. With tools like Shorts, connected TV, and AI-driven formats, YouTube is a space where Africa's youngest generation can shape their stories and reach audiences far beyond local borders. To tell us a bit more about the upcoming awards, we are joined by Lorraine London, Head of Advertising Products and Solutions at Google SSA. Lorraine, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. I want to talk about your first experience on YouTube. Do you remember the very first video that you interacted with?
Actually, I think it was some South African comedy that I encountered during COVID. I think this is when I really began to get entrenched in the platform. Yes, I've worked for Google for a long time, but the entrenchment of the platform was really during COVID, and seeing what South Africans brought to the mix. It was incredible.
Interesting. Okay, Lorraine, let's talk about the launch of the YouTube Works Awards in South Africa and their significance for advertisers as well as creators.
So this is a very special evening in that it's just dedicated to the platform of YouTube. It has long been integrated into many marketing strategies, but I think this is the one time where we look at it and go, how have advertisers actually leveraged the platform? And there's a multitude of ways that they could do this that really showcases what YouTube has to offer. In the past, creative has been lauded as the way forward in terms of advertising. But I think the other thing to look at when advertisers are using the platform is to see how it's actually yielding results for their business. And I think YouTube has brought that both together in terms of celebrating incredible creative. South Africans are always bringing such wonderful ads to the fore. I'm super proud of how South Africa shows up in the global market. But at the same time, how is it really bolstering our advertisers' business? And I think that's a really beautiful marriage that we're seeing across the board.
Well, it's 19 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. We're currently in conversation with Lorraine London, Head of Advertising Products and Solutions at Google SSA, to tell us all about the very first YouTube Works Awards South Africa, which will be taking place tomorrow in Johannesburg. We'll continue the conversation right after this.
We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. Africa Update on Channel Africa with Lulu Kabu.
Mozambique's opposition leader Venancio Mondlane has been charged with incitement to terrorism and disobedience. He faces a total of 5 charges. The charges relate to post-election violence that left hundreds of people dead. What punishment is he looking at?
The most severe charges are 2. One is incitement for terrorism, and also is being charged for mobilizing people for terrorism during the protests. These charges are really serious and severe. If he is condemned, is found guilty, he could serve 10 years plus years in jail, meaning that he would be banned from political participation, mainly for the 2028 and 2029 electoral cycle.
The director of CDD, the Center for Democracy and Development, Adriano Novunga.
Africa Update with Lulu Kabu, 12 to 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let the Upside transport you from Cape to Cairo every weekday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
21 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Tomorrow, Johannesburg will host the very first YouTube Works Awards South Africa, an event that celebrates the country's most effective and creative ad campaigns on the platform. And we continue our conversation with Lorraine. Lorraine, let's talk about what makes an ad campaign effective on YouTube beyond just the views. I know you touched on the fact that the business itself that's advertising needs to see measurable results. What else are we looking for beyond the views to ensure that an ad is an effective one?
So I think when we're looking at these awards, we're actually honoring the various steps it takes to build beautiful marketing campaigns. The first of these is understanding the people to whom you're speaking, understanding the diversity of the South African audiences, and making sure that there's a message that really resonates. The others are the insights that drive the communications, and we're honoring that in these awards, is to say, what are some great truths that really make your message land with the people, and you're really having a great interaction. And then it goes all the way through to how these things are executed, how the creative shows up, and ultimately, how are we measuring these things? And it's a bit of a nerdy conversation to have around measuring creative, but I think there is a lot of pressure on marketers these days to really start talking about what is the story yielding for their business. And so in these awards, we're really trying to celebrate every step of that, of building those robust marketing campaigns, as well as bringing in the creative element, because I think what we've seen from our list of finalists is just how beautiful and varied the communication is, and how they really truly understand the South African experience around bringing their brands to the market.
Okay. YouTube has been doing this for 2 decades now. That's a long time. Let's talk about its role in Africa's advertising and creative landscape. Perhaps we can, of course, use South Africa as an example and just look at how the space of advertising and creativity has evolved and shaped and shifted over the years.
Absolutely. And I think that's, we've had a lot of technological progress across the continent. And with that, we've seen a lot of consumer changes. We've seen how people consume it. Like, for instance, we're speaking in a digital platform. There is video happening right now, but we're speaking on the radio station. And there's this cross-pollination of where platforms used to be happening in silos. The consumers are actually, they don't care where they're watching or encountering content. They're seeing it wherever they may be. We're seeing this as well is from a connected TV perspective. We ran some research a few years ago, and 76% of South Africans think that they're watching TV when they watch YouTube on their televisions. They don't see it as a digital platform. Yes. And I think this is one of the interesting things around what's happening in the African context is that now content is available everywhere and people are sharing their stories everywhere. And I think what we're trying to really bolster is the connection between brands and these audiences and consumers and the creators to say this is an economy. We've got amazing stories to tell on the South African platform. Let's give it a global footprint. Let's use the digital pathways to be able to tell our stories. And I think over time, we've really seen Africans love to tell their stories. We have a booming music market because of these channels, because of digital has taken our music around the world. And this is what really excites me about this is that we're able to facilitate experience, which is so needed in Africa. We need to be sharing our experiences as a very, very diverse audience across the continent. And I think YouTube has really, really supported that over the last 2 decades.
Well, with the YouTube Works Awards South Africa, Lorraine, walk us through the categories. I understand there are 6 of them.
Yes, now you're going to be really testing my knowledge. Let's see. So we have the underdog. They are the people who are in competition with those who usually would spend millions, but they were able to run a really impactful campaign on a much smaller budget. We have the hidden gem, which is all about that key insight that they were able to really get around building a communication strategy from data and insights. We have the creative visionary, people who were able to take what the platform offers in its multitudes of formats and go, how do we tell a really brilliant story creatively? Shapeshifters, we celebrate those who are able to meld their creative into different ways of looking at the platform, taking one piece of content and changing it for a different purpose. Then the 5th one is the YouTube Symphony. How do we make use of all the different ways, bringing a flagship communication onto YouTube, but then using shorts to really bring almost like composing music in terms of their campaign. It's not enough just to run an ad, but how are these things moving together? The 6th one I am thinking is, let me think.
I wish I could help you.
Same here.
Well, we do have a Grand Prix, which is absolutely the one that brings all of them together. And that has really, that steps out and showcases exactly what we are looking for in a YouTube campaign. And I think there's going to be surprises across the board. The Grand Prix is the one where we really need to showcase and where we'll be telling beautiful stories about going forward.
Okay, this is wonderful. Very exciting. The Grand Prix, the Hidden Gem, as you mentioned it, the Tech Pioneer Award, also very, very exciting. Okay, so of course, the winners are going to be announced. But if I do perhaps want to go online, Lorraine, is there any way where I can go to have a look at the full list of nominees? Maybe I have a friend there that I want to support.
I think you can look at any of the marketing publication. Biz Community is running some of these things.
Okay.
Also, if you look on LinkedIn, if there's anyone associated with Google, we have not been quiet about this. We are really, really excited about this. And a lot of the finalists are actually showcasing these themselves. And also, day after tomorrow, we will be really giving the winners the platform that they deserve in terms of what transpires tomorrow night.
And finally, Lorraine, what's your message to South African creators and brands listening in about the opportunities that YouTube can hold for them and their businesses, and also as creatives, of course?
That's a beautiful question. I think this is the thing that I'm most excited about, and where I see the most opportunities for that incredible storytelling that we can tell and showcase to the nation. And I think advertisers need to really start looking at our South African creators as partners to help them tell their stories. I think there's always a place for beautiful, glossy television commercials, but I think when we're a really down-to-earth nation, we like to hear from our friends and family about things, and I think this is a great opportunity to link the two. The creator economy on YouTube is ever burgeoning. It's growing. I am finding new South African creators every single day that I absolutely love. It's a wonder I get to do any work because there's so many amazing people on there. But I think this is great opportunity for brands and creators to connect and make this a really creative environment for a quite traditional kind of industry in the past. So I'm really excited about that.
Lorraine, thank you so much for your time and all the best for tomorrow. The voice of Lorraine London, Head of Advertising Products and Solutions at Google SSA. Tomorrow there will be the very first YouTube Works Awards South Africa. Let's get the latest in sports with Fix Lingwati.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
South Africa's new look backline are eager to get going against New Zealand in a Rugby Championship test match in Wellington on Saturday. Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus rang the changes for the must-win clash after a poor performance by the world champions against the All Blacks in Auckland last weekend. Many of those changes include young winger Ethan Hooker, who gets his first start in the green and gold jersey. He says facing New Zealand is a dream come true.
Yeah, I think everyone's a bit edgy. Everyone's really keen to get onto the pitch and just express themselves, but I think combinations working very well in training. Guys are linking up and guys are just feeling that we're not really feeling any pressure. We're feeling like we can express ourselves, and I think that's a very good positive taking into this weekend.
Although not in this weekend's team, Hooker says stalwarts such as Jesse Kriel and Damian Yalende still play a mentoring role.
Sure, a couple of months now, and sort of learning from them. So they do give us that a lot of confidence going onto the pitch, and I think, like you said, we do try to play with not as much fear as some guys would think. But I mean, I think we just go onto that pitch and try to express ourselves just like anyone else. And having people like Jesse and Damien, they really do help us narrow that and channel that into just performing on the weekend.
New Zealand has called on former captain Ricky McCaw for inspiration ahead of their second Rugby Championship test against South Africa, saying they want to go to another level. The two-time World Cup winning skipper McCaw joined the All Black squad in Wellington ahead of Saturday's rematch after the home side edged a tight contest 24-17 at Eden Park. Midfield back Quinn Tapia said McCaw's presence had already given the players a lift. Tapia, who scored the final try to keep the fast-finishing Springboks at bay at Eden Park, is wary the visitors will be highly motivated to reverse the result. Now, football news. Nigeria's captain William Trust Nkong has dismissed claims that the Super Eagles' individual star power is holding the team back. A stuttering start to their FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign has left Nigeria 6 points adrift of Group C leaders South Africa, making tonight's clash at the Free State Stadium a must-win. Speaking ahead of the decisive fixture, Truas Igong rejected suggestions that egos or reputations are to blame for the team's struggles.
Again, maybe it might be your opinion. I see, live, breathe this team from the inside out. If there's one thing that I have to say about the team now, there's a real unity, togetherness, understanding, players that want to fight for the same direction, regardless of what club you play for, who you are. There's a real brotherhood in the team, so I don't have to go into too much detail, but I can really dismiss that issue if that's something that people are talking about. So that's not even something that I think about.
And finally, with cricket news, Zimbabwe have confirmed they will host Namibia in a 3-match T20 series next week ahead of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa Regional Final 2025. The 3 matches will be held at Queen Sports Club in Bulawayo from the 15th of September, with both Zimbabwe and Namibia set to use the matches as vital preparation for the regional final event in Harare between the 26th of September and the 4th of October. A total of 8 teams will battle it out in the regional event, with the top 2 finishers earning a place at next year's ICC Men's T20 World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. The 3 matches against Namibia will be held on the 15th, the 16th and the 18th of September. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. This is Channel Africa Sport with me, Figure Lengwadi.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Channel Africa, your voice, your sound, and your home. Stay logged right here. This September, Channel Africa celebrates Heritage Month, a time to honor the stories, the rhythms, and the languages that make us who we are. Whether you're in Lagos or the shores of Zanzibar, to the mountains of Lesotho or the markets of Dakar, we are united in diversity.
Najivunia kuwa Mwafrika.
Kukondolera Afrika ndiye nduwake.
Proudly African and fabulous.
Let us preserve our languages. Let's embrace our uniqueness. Let's embrace our cultures and celebrate the beauty of our continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. We are on Open Views Audio Bouquet. Channel 628. We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
36 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the final business news this afternoon. Nosipho Zuma is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Good afternoon. In your business news this hour, the African Continental Free Trade Area has come under the spotlight at the Second Embassy's Business Fan Conference taking place in South Africa. Now, this after member of the Executive Council for Agriculture and Rural Development in the Gauteng province, Vuyiswa Ramakgopa, called on the country to build concrete trade corridors. Ramakgopa also mentioned of the agreements promised to unlock a $3.4 trillion continental market.
The African Continental Free Trade Agreement has already and seeks to unlock a $3.4 trillion market across different industries. Now, in South Africa, our job certainly is that we must now build those trade corridors, ensure that we can harmonize trade regulations, and invest in the necessary infrastructure that will connect us to other parts of the continent.
The South African government has welcomed Walmart's latest decision to invest further in the country, saying it underscores a strong belief in the country's economic trajectory and confirmation that the country remains a reliable investment destination. The U.S. grocery store today announced that it plans to open its first branded stores in South Africa later this year. Their stores will offer fresh groceries, household essentials, clothing, and technology, adding emphasis on sourcing products from local SMEs. The company, which now owns local retailer Massmart, says its latest decision underscores its commitment to availing high-quality, affordable and more accessible products to consumers. The South African Federation of Trade Unions, SAFTU, has called for a meeting with the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Pakstau, as well as the Minister of Employment and Labour, Nomakosazana Meth. SAFTU says it wants the two ministers to address the unfolding unemployment crisis in the manufacturing sector. The trade union has accused the government of not doing enough to come up with a solution to the growing unemployment crisis. The union's General Secretary,
There's been no real engagement between the key players to try and find real solution, long-term solution to the crisis. Network has to be transformed to be a structure where real engagement between the captains of industry, the government at the most senior level, and labor community at the most senior level begin to confront the issue.
Ethiopia has officially inaugurated Africa's largest hydroelectric dam. The project is set to provide energy to millions of Ethiopians while deepening a rift with downstream Egypt that has unsettled the region. The country sees the $5 billion Ethiopian Renaissance Dam eventually rise to 5,150 megawatt from the 750 that its two active turbines are already producing. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said the country will use the energy to improve Ethiopians' access to electricity while also exporting surplus power to the region. And finally, London-listed miner Anglo-American has agreed to a merger with Canada's Teck Resources in what would be the biggest mining sector merger and acquisition deal in more than a decade. Under the proposed deal, which will require regulatory approval in Canada and South Africa, Anglo-American shareholders will own 62.4% of the newly combined company, Anglo-Teck, while shareholders in Teck will hold 37.6%. The merger is expected to generate annual cost savings and efficiency gains of $800 million by the fourth year after completion. Your financial indicators: $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 514. In Botswana, it's 13 bula 30. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 30. And in Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 89. The BRICS countries: $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 42. Russia is 81 rubles 95. India is 88 rupees 02. China at 7 yuan 13. And in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 54. $1 is trading at 74 pence to the British pound and 85 to the euro. Looking at commodities, gold is trading at $3,350 and platinum at $1,392 per ounce. The price of Brent crude oil is at $66.44 a barrel. Now, for any business news stories you would like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business, I'm Mosito Suma.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Zochitika ndimodapiri kamlondola wazochitika pena paliponse.
Vuto lakusowa kwa simenti likupitirira ku Malawi ngakhale kuti boma linapanga mgwirizano ndi makampani ena aku Zambia kuti azibweretsa mdziko lo simenti. Nduna ya zamalonda Vitumbuko Mumba yadzudzula makampani ena kuti akubisa simenti ngakhale kuti boma likumawapatsa ndalama yakunja kuti akagule kunja ndi kubweretsa simenti ku Malawi. Ndipo George Muhango tili naye pa line apa kuti atifotokozere zambiri. George, uli bwanji komanso vuto la simenti linamba liti?
Inetu ndili bwino, ndipo vuto la simenti ku Malawi kuno linayamba miezi itatu yapitayi. Sakupezeka mu mashop amene amagulisiramo komanso kuti makampani amene akupanga simenti amene akupanga ochepa kwambiri, monga modza kunena kuti ndalama yakunja kuti ayitanise katundu amene amathandizira kuti apange simenti amene ikusoweka.
Zochitika ndimodapiri lolemba mpaka pa nthawi ya 7 koloko kufikira 8 koloko madzulo pa Channel Africa.
Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
Trust me. Kelly, your body attention. Man, wanna kiss a caress, yeah. The way you move, feel like you be different. Meaning to know where you're from, girl. Ooh, something must be fishy. Why everything about you, little. Excuse me if I go and be greedy. Been a long time and time is really tight. Get it understood. I just want your body sleeping in my room. Put on your dancing shoes. Girl, come show me what your waist can do. Be up loud. Can't deny you got me in that mood. Put on your dancing shoes. Girl, make you show me what your waist can do. My baby, move like a goddess. Cause she attention, she not pretend, yeah. One of a kind, yeah. The way she whine, got these other girls offended. Move, my baby, move like a goddess. Cause she attention, she not pretend, yeah. Ooh, baby, one of a kind, yeah. The way she whine, got these other girls offended.
You don't understand the pressure you got me under just from the sight of you. What you have done, you cannot undo. You and I make a silly combo. Let's be serious, you are highly favored. Jack Luke, it's time to make this creature. You don't look like you're from Giddy, Lagos. Thinking you're from Barbados. Get it understood, but I got no other mission but to shift your womb. Can't tell me who are you? Why you have to sweep me off my feet like broom? I'm emotional, I'm moved. Tears in my eyes anytime I lose. I'm interested, are you? We go pattern every little thing in my room.
My baby, move like a goddess. Cause she attention, she not pretend, yeah. Ooh, baby, one of a kind, yeah. The way she whine, got these other girls offended. Ooh, my baby, move like a goddess. Yes, nigga the same, take your body change. Before you leave, oh, baby, make I put it on the table. Baby, move like a goddess. Cause she attention, she not pretend, yeah. Ooh, baby, one of a kind, yeah. The way she whine, got these other girls offended.
Goddess is the name of the song by Bayani featuring Rouge. It is 46 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. It's time now for What Caught Your Eye? The part of the day where we share some interesting stories, perhaps something that we saw trending on social media, on TikTok, or on the television, or at the SABC. I'll share the what caught my eye at the SABC maybe tomorrow. Okay.
Hey.
But today, what caught my eye is the fact that Bafana are playing against Nigeria this evening. They have an opportunity to qualify for the World Cup. Now, this is massive. This is quite massive because they've never qualified for the World Cup outside of 2010 when they were hosting. They automatically qualified because they hosted the World Cup, right? Today, they're up against Nigeria. And as it stands, they're at the top of their table, right? They are group number, let me be accurate, group number C. And the idea is that the teams that end up at the top of their tables, on the various groups at the FIFA World Cup African qualifiers, those teams automatically will then qualify for the World Cup. As it stands right now, Group A, Egypt is leading the charge there. Group B, DRC Congo, or DR Congo is leading there. Group C, South Africa leading. Group D, Capo Verde. Group E, Morocco. Group F, Ivory Coast. Group G, Algeria. Group H, Tunisia. Group I, yeah, there are too many groups. I want to focus on South Africa tonight. Right. They have a chance and an opportunity to qualify for the World Cup. Okay. But they're up against Nigeria. All they need in this game is to draw or to win. That's all they need. That's all they need.
What are your predictions? What do you see in your crystal ball?
But Nigeria has a strong team. I'm not saying that Bafana don't have a strong team. Hugo Bruce has been doing a proper job with these Bafana team, and I think they stand a very good chance. I was telling Untando earlier, our technical director, I was saying to him, Untando, I think Bafana are going to either draw this one or they're going to win. I'm giving it to Bafana for the points today. With Nigeria, I know they've got a strong team, but I am saying with faith that Bafana are going to get a point today, either through a draw or by winning. Let us know your predictions and let us know if indeed Bafana will qualify for the next World Cup. How monumental will that be? That's what caught my eye. What do you think about that? Do you think we have a chance?
I love that for you. You sound like a dad who's like, my children are hard workers and they will win. It's a good thing to be optimistic. Wow. What do I think?
Based on statistics also.
Okay, I don't know the statistics.
They've been winning.
I will go with Bafana. But I don't know.
You don't sound confident. Anyway.
I don't know. Listen, either way, it will be a victory for Africa. Okay?
Absolute.
I mean,
okay.
Can I be that girl right now?
Well, okay. If you're going to be diplomatic, that's
fine.
I'm
going to be that girl.
That's fine.
Okay.
Let us know what you think. Predictions for tonight's game between Bafana and Nigeria. And let me also know what you think of South Africa's chances of qualifying for the next World Cup. They only have about 3 games to go, including tonight's one. And I think they are going to qualify. It's 10 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. Don't go anywhere. Matsheko Mosito is about to share what caught her eye.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge aka Binal Sport depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
All right, it's 9 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. We continue with what caught your eye. Matsheko Mosito, what caught your eye?
From one predicted possible victory to one that actually happened in the space of music. One that is almost guaranteed. I mean, she's just on a winning streak. Our Tyler, we're so proud of her. So I don't know if you were able to catch last night the broadcast of the MTV VMAs. They were held in New York City in the States. And it was at the UBS Arena, I think, if memory serves me correctly. Okay. And South African sensation, the amazing, talented Tyler, is becoming harder and harder to ignore because she's just making waves wherever she goes. She won again, Best Afrobeats for her hit Push to Start. This makes her win a second consecutive win, okay, as recorded, and in this particular category, just to be specific. And I think this really just highlights her influence in crossover music, if you will. But also, I wanted to note that I don't think that, Tyler's victory is just a victory for the sake of a victory. I think this is testament to her consistency, to how she is influencing African music on a global scale. I think that's a big deal. But also just wanted to comment, because I was actually online. I'm actually online now. And looking at the wonderful stellar fashion turns that were made by these wonderful African women, Tyler being one of them, of course, the winner. Ira Star was just chic and gorgeous. And, Molly as well. I mean, the girls just looked absolutely stunning. Wanted to note that the fashion goes with the music. It's not each sold separately. And I thought that they really made an impression on the red carpet.
Representing Africa proudly.
Properly.
And properly. Tyler, congratulations.
Congratulations,
I mean, honestly, I'm going through some statistics here. She has won 32 industry awards from 107 nominations. This now includes that VMA one that she won last night. That is ridiculous. The amount of time she's been in this industry is not a long time. It's not a long time. But for her to have amassed this much accolades, no. Tyler, congratulations. We tip our hat to you and we say, may your star continue to shine. You are making South Africa, you are making Africa proud.
Let's do an inclusive applause.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
There we go. That's what caught our eye. Let us know what caught your eye on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And if you'd like to send us a voice note, we'd love to hear from you, hear your lovely voice. Our WhatsApp line is +27 63 406 9126.
Cheers.
So easy.
I'll prove it all. Shall we go to the matter? Make we solve and cup and every time make you call better. I might be dangerous, but I'm on your side, on your side. I know you thought that I would come and break your heart. No, not today. No, not today. And I know you thought that I would come and let to your scars. No, not today. No, not today. You need a good hug, good sex and good love, someone you can trust. Don't worry about nothing. I know you're struggling with loving so hard. No, not today. No, not today.
Overeater, 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 overeater. Girl on fire, traumatized creature. Love and protect you like my sister. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. Speak of you highly and love you deeper. Open your doors, run you a hot bath, open your pores. Grapes and top wine, open your jaws. I'm nothing like them other niggas from before. I'm fighting the stereotype, I'm going to war. Let's go MIA, elope on the shore. Mrs. Me, them legs are gold, I'm Mr. T. Keep them around my neck till I forget to breathe.
I just want to listen to you. Tell me all of the things you want. Tell me all of the things you need. Just sit back and listen to you. Hold you close while I hear you out. We so close I can hear you breathe. 'Cause nothing will matter, 'cause nothing's the same. 'Cause when you're with me, let your past be your pain. 'Cause I won't neglect you, won't repeat the pain, the pain.
The name of this song is called Shade, featuring Nasty C, a song by Rotimi. And that's how we're wrapping up our show this afternoon. The Upside. We had a fantastic day. It's a lovely Tuesday to engage in, shall we say it, industry-changing conversations. We had the YouTube Awards, which will be taking place tomorrow, the Works Awards. We spoke about infrastructure development to facilitate AI development in the educational space in South Africa. Important conversations, and we are very grateful that you lent us your ear this afternoon and engage with our content. Continue to do so on our platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok, because Africa in Business is coming up next with Thabiso Lehuku, the man with the golden voice. Did you have a good time today?
I had a great time, as always. The Tuesday edition in the bag. We're back again tomorrow. I really would have enjoyed to find out what Thabiso thinks about the business of football in particular.
The business of football.
The business of football.
Multi-billion.
Listen, because I don't think we pay attention to that part a lot, especially considering the upcoming match that's going to be taking place between Nigeria and South Africa. Yes, that's what it's called, a qualifier. See, I need to learn these things. But yeah, it would be interesting to find out what he thinks. But listen, if you really want to know what he thinks, he's got all the statistics and all the research that he's going to bring forth after the 4 p.m. news bulletin for Africa in Business. It was great. We're ready for the Wednesday edition already. So make sure that you're here 1 p.m. in Central African time so that you can catch the broadcast and the action live as it happens.
All right, it's 4 p.m. Central African time from us, the Upsiders. Let's do this again tomorrow, same time, same place. Goodbye, Africa.